After attending her classmate's Halloween party that evening, Annie happily rode home with Patty on horseback. Suddenly, they spotted a white van parked ahead. The vehicle quickly began chasing after them, so the two girls split up and rode their horses into the woods to escape. The van pursued Annie, and during her escape, her horse stumbled while jumping over a fence, throwing Annie to the ground. Seeing the van approaching, Annie could only limp away and hide in a small hollow by a tree. The van came to a stop, and a man got out to search for Annie. When the driver walked past the tree hollow, he didn't notice anyone inside. Annie had cleverly hidden herself under the van. After the driver circled around without finding her, Annie was so terrified she barely dared to breathe. When the van finally drove away, Annie had successfully escaped danger. After finding her horse, Annie returned home. While removing the saddle, she suddenly saw the white van parked right outside the stable door. Annie froze in terror. The moment she turned around, a man grabbed her by the throat, threw her to the ground, kicked her, then dragged her aside and slapped her twice. Annie was now too weak to resist. The man tied up her hands and feet, but Annie quickly rolled to one side, luring the driver behind her horse. She called out the horse's name, and the animal kicked the man, sending him flying. The attacker was knocked unconscious, and Annie took the opportunity to untie herself. Just as she was about to leave the stable, the driver began to regain consciousness and stood up. Annie struggled to run toward home, but before she could get far, the van burst out of the stable. Terrified, Annie stumbled as she ran home. The driver got out, grabbed Annie, and tightly strangled her neck with rope. Inside the house, Annie's sister continued her phone conversation, completely unaware of what was happening outside. Annie was choked unconscious. When she came to, she found herself inside the van. While the driver was focused on driving, Annie found a weapon and struck him hard on the head. She seized the moment to open the car door and jumped out. The driver touched his head. It was covered in blood. Annie had made it to her front door and was shouting her sister's name. Her sister inside was still on the phone, unable to hear Annie's cries or even the sound of her pounding on the door. The driver had caught up again.